They're everywhere, perched on rooftops, trees, wires, often watching us with their sharp, intelligent gaze. But behind that familiar silhouette lies a creature far more extraordinary than most realize. Today, we'll dive into the incredible world of crows, birds known not just for their iconic caw, but for their intelligence, memory, social lives, and uncanny behaviors that rival some of the smartest mammals on the planet. Crows can mimic human speech surprisingly well. In captivity, some have learned to say words and phrases they hear regularly from their caretakers, much like parrots. These birds form strong pair bonds and typically mate for life. A crow couple will build a nest together, raise chicks, and often stay as a unit for many years. They've been observed using tools in the wild, not just picking up sticks, but actually shaping them to extract food from hard-to-reach places. Crows can plan for the future. In scientific experiments, they've chosen tools or food items they knew they would need later, even delaying immediate gratification. Their brains are exceptionally large in proportion to their bodies, particularly the neocortex-like region responsible for decision-making and problem-solving, much like primates. Crows can recognize individual human faces. If someone has wronged them, they'll remember that person for years, and even warn others in their group about the danger. They play. Not for survival or food, just for fun. Crows have been seen sliding down snowy roofs, playing games with other animals, and tossing objects in the air to catch. One of their most fascinating behaviors is deception. If a crow senses it's being watched while hiding food, it may pretend to cache it in one spot and secretly move it to another location. Some crows have been seen grieving the death of fellow crows. They gather around a fallen bird, remain silent, and appear to study the situation, possibly as a warning or a moment of awareness. Their vocal range is much more complex than most people realize. They use a wide variety of sounds, and crows in different regions even develop local dialects. In cities, crows have learned to use traffic lights. They drop nuts onto roads for cars to crack, then wait for the pedestrian light to cross safely and collect their snack. They have incredible memories, especially for locations. Crows can remember hundreds of hiding spots where they've cached food, and retrieve it even after weeks. Despite their intelligence, crows are cautious and slow to trust. They often observe a new object or situation for days before approaching it. Crows are known to give gifts to humans. People who consistently feed them have reported receiving shiny objects like buttons, beads, or foil as apparent thank you offerings. They've been seen watching and following predators like wolves or bears, waiting until the larger animal finishes feeding so they can scavenge what's left. Crows often hold what scientists call funerals. Large groups gather noisily around a dead crow, though it's believed this behavior helps them learn about threats in the area. Juvenile crows often remain with their parents for years, helping raise younger siblings, a rare trait among birds that reflects complex family dynamics. In laboratory tests, crows have passed the mirror test, recognizing themselves, a sign of self-awareness only a handful of species have demonstrated. They've been observed playing pranks, teasing dogs, stealing shiny things from people, or even dropping pine cones on unsuspecting passers-by. In some experiments, crows solved multi-step puzzles that required logic, memory, and planning, often outperforming young children in similar tasks. Crows have lived up to 20 years in the wild, and in captivity, some have reached over 40 years, making them one of the longest living bird species. Their wings are designed for silent, controlled flight. This helps them maneuver stealthily in dense forests and urban environments. Some crows deliberately create fake food stashes when they suspect they're being watched by other birds, an example of strategic deception. They are incredibly adaptable. Crows thrive in cities, forests, deserts, and coastal regions, using every available resource to survive and innovate. Their feathers are not just black. Up close, they often shimmer with hints of purple, blue, and green, due to the structure of their plumage. Crow gatherings, often at dusk, can include hundreds or even thousands of individuals. The reasons remain unclear, but may include social bonding, safety, or communal decision-making. Crows often study humans carefully. They know who throws out trash, who leaves pet food on porches, and which people pose a threat or offer safety. They can modify their calls depending on the situation, showing vocal flexibility. Some calls signal danger, others location, and some seem to serve social or bonding purposes. In mythology and folklore around the world, crows appear as symbols of both death and wisdom. From Odin's ravens in Norse legend to Native American tricksters, their role is never simple. Their distribution spans most of the Northern Hemisphere, including North America, Europe, Asia, and parts of North Africa. They are one of the most widespread and successful bird species on Earth. Crows are more than just birds with a dark reputation, they're problem solvers, pranksters, strategists, and survivors. From tool use to emotional depth, they continue to challenge how we define intelligence in the animal kingdom. So next time you see a crow watching from above, consider this: it might be observing you just as closely as you're watching it. If you enjoyed this dive into the world of crows, hit like, subscribe for more animal insights, and share in the comments what surprised you most about these remarkable birds.